The iPhone 18 Pro camera is back in the spotlight, and this time the rumors are pointing toward a feature straight out of the professional camera world. According to a new leak, Apple is testing a teleconverter together with a variable aperture system for the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max, and if this actually happens, it could be one of the biggest camera upgrades ever seen on an iPhone. A tipster known as Smart Pikachu on Weibo claims that Apple's variable aperture camera has now reached the engineering sample stage, which means this is no longer just a concept but something being tested in real prototype hardware. Alongside that, the same source says Apple is also experimenting with a teleconverter, a piece of optical hardware commonly used in DSLR and mirrorless cameras to increase focal length and bring distant subjects closer without changing lenses. On smartphones, zooming usually depends heavily on digital cropping, which often leads to a loss of detail and softer-looking images. If Apple manages to integrate a true teleconverter into the iPhone 18 Pro, it could dramatically improve zoom quality by relying more on real optics instead of software tricks. Of course, teleconverters usually reduce the amount of light reaching the sensor, and this is where the variable aperture system becomes crucial. With a variable aperture, the camera can open up to let in more light when needed or close down in bright conditions, helping maintain proper exposure. Combining a teleconverter with a variable aperture would give Apple a much more flexible camera system, balancing zoom reach, light control, and image quality in a way that closely mirrors professional cameras. This could also improve low-light performance and reduce the need for aggressive processing. The variable aperture itself has been rumored for a while, with supply chain analyst Ming-Chi Kuo previously suggesting that Apple planned to bring this feature to the iPhone 18 Pro lineup, and multiple reports later backing that claim. If it launches, it would be the first true variable aperture system ever on an iPhone, potentially offering more natural background blur, better depth of field control, and fewer overexposed shots, all while relying less on software-based effects. At this stage in development, the overall design of the iPhone 18 Pro is likely locked in, but Apple is still testing camera components to ensure they meet strict standards for performance, durability, and mass production. Using engineering samples allows Apple to fine-tune optical quality and reliability, and if any feature fails to meet expectations, it could still be dropped, just like the variable aperture rumored for the iPhone 17 Pro Max that never made it to the final product. That's why these leaks should still be taken with caution, especially since Smart Pikachu has a stronger track record with Android leaks than Apple ones. Beyond the Pro models, there are also interesting rumors about the wider iPhone 18 lineup, including a possible change in Apple's release strategy, with the Pro models and even a foldable iPhone launching in September 2026, while the standard iPhone 18 could be delayed until spring 2027. The base model is expected to get meaningful upgrades too, including a jump to 12 GB of RAM, improved multitasking, and better support for Apple's growing AI features. The display could look cleaner thanks to under-display 3D technology that shrinks the dynamic island, and connectivity may improve with Apple's own C25G modem, offering faster speeds and better power efficiency. Performance should also see a boost with the A20 chip built on a 2-nanometer process, promising more power with lower energy consumption. Apple may even refine the camera control button with pressure-only input for more precise handling. All of this suggests the iPhone 18 series may not completely reinvent the smartphone, but it could deliver some of the most practical and meaningful upgrades yet, especially if the Pro models really do bring DSLR-inspired camera hardware to the iPhone.